Hey, Boots, what do you want?
Jaron Ennis, last we heard, was looking to set up a fight with Josh Kelly to make his 154-pound debut.
I need y'all to get the likes up, man. Get the likes up. Smash the like button. We have 350 people and 95 likes.
But Josh Kelly comes out and says that the offer was too low. Since Eddie Hearn isn't necessarily with Turk Al-Sheikh, and Turk Al-Sheikh had Josh Kelly in one of his cars more recently, now yesterday's price isn't today's price. So now they've got to pay a pretty penny for Josh Pretty Boy Kelly to get in the ring with Jaron Ennis. Moving forward, Jaron Ennis sent out 4 offers now, right? This is the rumor now that Jaron Ennis, his team, sent out 4 offers. One to Speedy Rashidi Ellis, who last we really saw him was his loss against Ramon Villa, who actually Jaron Ennis also faced, and he actually beat Ramon Villa, Jaron Ennis. Rashidi Ellis went off and won 3 fights, and his last fight was actually June 25th, not too long ago, against a Jojek Ruiz, whatever his name is. I'm not sure. Maybe he's fighting on one of these pro box cards or something like that, or these team boxing events, or whatever the case may be. But Rashidi Ellis have been busy since his loss to Ramon Villa, and he does appear to be a lot bigger than what he was when he lost against Ramon Villa. Then we got Andreas Kachwakis. Sorry if I butchered his name. I'm not too familiar with the guy. He ain't really fought too many guys that we're familiar with. This is kind of like, one of those things. Like, how good is this guy for really, right? Greece. He's a Greek guy. So, we don't really know much about this dude, right? Then, of course, there's Charles Conwell, who actually his last fight, he lost against Jorge Garcia, who actually lost his last fight against Xander Zayas. So Charles Conwell is one of the top guys. Pretty much there was next in line for that WBO title. So Jaron Ennis, I think the toughest opponent out of these 4 guys could possibly be a guy like Charles Conwell for Jaron Ennis. Ain't no telling. But the thing is, right, the narrative for Jaron Ennis, man, he's almost 30 years old now, and he don't have any marquee names on his resume. And then when fans, the fans that come for Jaron Ennis, they see these guys, they see these names. Fans don't know who any of these guys are. None of them, right? And none of these guys are holding a world title either. So it's not necessarily going to look good for Jaron Ennis, right? It's not going to look good for Jaron Ennis. You got guys questioning how come the Black American fans haven't gravitated towards Jaron Ennis by now, right? What is Jaron Ennis doing with his career?
Emo. Boots doesn't want Ortiz. Hey, Boots, what do you want? Yo, hold up. Champion. Hey, champ. Champ. Who do you want? You want champs or you want chumps? But someone told me the other day that he was saying he wants to move up and get 2 tune-ups? Undefeated champion getting tune-ups? Did you pop your bicep tendon? Did you twist your ankle, bro? What happened? Oh man, look, you beat Stanley Onis, but you don't feel comfortable at 147? Hold it down. You was holding it down, pimp. Hold it down. But you want to come up, and then you don't want champs. You want chumps. You want tune-ups. I'm confused, man.
What kind of move is this? Because when we see certain fighters, guys like Devin Haney, guys like Terrence Bud Crawford, right? They fighting guys, top guys in those particular weight classes when they move up. I mean, I'm not saying it's for everybody, but I'm just saying, I guess you could say Charles Conwell's a top guy at the weight division. I'm not quite sure where everybody else is ranked. I'm being honest. When we talk 154, none of these guys are the guys, none of these guys was any of the guys that I was thinking for Jaron Ennis' debut. Not one of these dudes. So I don't even know where they came from. But I'm not saying that they're not tough fighters. I'm not saying they're not good fighters. I'm familiar with 3 out of the 4 of these guys. So they could all pose some type of threat or some type of challenge for Jaron Ennis. I'm not quite sure. I'm not familiar with the Andreas guy. right? He could be a pretty tough dude, but I'm just not familiar with him, right? So there's a lot of guys in this weight class that's tough that doesn't reach the popularity points, right? They just don't got enough popularity points. And this is something that Jaron Ennis needs right now. If he's going to get critiqued, regardless of who he picks out of any of these 4 guys, he's going to get critiqued regardless of who these guys are. Why? Because nobody knows who these dudes is. Nobody knows who these dudes is, right? Charles Conwell could probably be the most likely guy, right? A guy that people, especially hardcore fans, be most interested in. Speedy Rashidi could possibly be still interested as well, especially at 154 pounds. And then there's also the question, how does Jaron Ennis perform at 154 pounds? In my opinion, he should perform a lot better. But only time will tell. Will his style and the way that he fights translate to 154 pounds? Will he be able to make that smooth transition up to 154 pounds? A very, very, very competitive weight class, regardless of how popular these fighters are, right? So this is just the latest news for Jaron Ennis. You know, he could be facing one of these 4 guys. I don't think Josh Kelly is out of the woodworks just yet. I think they still got to kind of negotiate, try to get him what he's looking for. I think that's the guy they go probably try to go for the most. I think the guy that's probably likely to be the toughest guy for Boots Ennis could be a Rashidi or Charles Conwell. But yeah, tell me what you guys think. Who do you want to see Jaron Boots Ennis fight for his 154-pound debut? Like, subscribe, holla at your boy. Peace out.